Hi guys, it's Ariana. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I have some new products that I want to do a wear test on and play with and test out. So this is the Pretty Fresh, this is the Hyaluronic Tinted Moisturizer from the brand Colourpop, and then I got the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer from, again, the brand Colourpop. I've had these in my studio for a couple weeks now, and I've been really wanting to play with them and test them out, but there's been a lot of stuff going on lately in the world and in my own personal life that I have not had time to film any videos, and I haven't actually been home. So this is the first time that I am getting back home from the last couple of weeks. So this is the first video that I am doing, finally sitting down in my studio. I haven't done a video on the eye look that I'm wearing right now because it's literally just eyeliner and some lip falsies. So I didn't really go into the whole makeup spree today. I just kind of did some eyeliner using the Glam Vice Retro liners and just threw on some false lashes, which are the Urban Pop in the shade, in the style Bewitched Lash. So that's just what I have on right now, and I just wanted to do a wear test on the tinted moisturizer because everybody's in isolation, so nothing else to do, so I might as well do a wear test. So it is 3:51 right now, so that's when I'm going to be starting this wear test. So I got the shade, I believe it was just the shade Fair, so Fair 3W. So I'm really hoping that this is going to be my shade because it's really hard to find the correct shade when you are ordering online, and Colourpop isn't in stores in Canada. So I'm going to zoom you guys in and we can start applying this. Yeah, it's just on my forehead right now, so nothing too crazy. So I'm just going to pump a little bit onto my hand and we can see how this concealer and foundation works. So I'm just going to use my Morphe sponge. This is a very old raggedy sponge, as you guys can see. They don't recommend using sponges that are cracked and stuff because bacteria can get in there, but I don't have another sponge right now, so don't do as I do. So I'm just going on using this foundation. I don't have any primer on my skin or any moisturizer. I'm just going in straight off the bat with nothing on my face, basically. So first thing that I am noticing with this is you need to use a lot because this is my regular amount that I would use for my entire face, and it is not going to cover all of everything. It is barely covering half of my face, so you're going to have to use a lot of product, which is kind of annoying. So I'm just going to take a little bit more out and do the rest of my face. Alright, so that is the first layer done. So I would say that this is a really good color match for me. This is Fair W3, I said, and it matches my skin tone fairly well, so I'm pretty impressed with that. It looks kind of light on my in my studio lights, but in actual lighting, it doesn't look too bad. It actually looks pretty dang close to what my actual skin color is. So that's really cool. So this is a BB cream, I believe. Tinted moisturizer. Is a tinted moisturizer, so it is dermalogic tested, oil-free, gluten-free, paraben-free, and it is vegan. So it's a hydrating tinted moisturizer with skin perfecting lightweight coverage for fresh, healthy looking skin. So this is a lightweight tinted moisturizer. So if you are a full coverage person, you're not going to get the coverage that you want from this type of product, but for me, I really like the finish of this so far. I do think it is really hydrating. It feels really hydrating on my skin, so I'm interested to see how it is going to wear throughout the day, and I like it. I don't think I'm going to do another layer just because I don't think it's necessary, and I don't want my skin to look too product-y, cakey. So I think it looks pretty okay for now. It is sinking into my fine lines and my, just my kind of everything. It's sinking into my pores, it's sinking into my fine lines. It is doing all of that, so keep that in mind. It is very light coverage. I think it looks really nice, but it is very light. Like I said, you're going to have to go in with a concealer if you do have problem areas. So I'm gonna go in using the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic concealer, and I got the shade Fair 05. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover up some of my breakouts and do my under eyes. So it smells very similar to the Morphe concealer. If you guys are unfamiliar with what Morphe concealer I'm talking about, I am talking about, you blend this in and find my Morphe concealer. My Morphe concealer smells exactly like this stuff. It kind of smells like paint, almost. Like it's a very strong chemical smell and I don't like it. I don't like the scent of it, but like this says on the box, it is dermatologic tested, oil-free, gluten-free, carbon-free, and ideal for all skin types. So it does not say that it is gluten, or it does not say that it is vegan. So that is interesting. This one says vegan, this one does not, and this one definitely smells really, really chemically, and I don't like the scent of it, but it is going away as I blend it into my skin, so that's interesting. I'm gonna have to look up and see if it is vegan or not, because it doesn't say on the box that it is. So this concealer actually looks really, really nice. I like the finish of it. I like the way it looks. It is a little bit light though, because I got kind of a lightening effect for my under eye, so I got a shade a little bit lighter. So if I was going to need a shade for concealing stuff on my face, I would probably have to use my regular concealer from Colourpop. So this is the shade Pharaoh 8, and that one would probably cover my breakouts a little bit more. So I'm just gonna go on using a little bit of that concealer just to cover up some of my breakout right there and right there. And I'm not going to put it on anywhere else on my face just because I want to see how these products work, but I definitely wanted to cover up some of that breakout. So I'm not going to be too critical and harsh on those two areas that I put the other product on, just because I want a non-breakout looking skin today. So I think this product looks super nice so far, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup. So I'm gonna do my bronzer and highlight, and then I will come back to start the wear test with you guys. Alright, so I am back and I have finished up my makeup. So I just threw on some bronzer, some highlight, and a little bit of eyeliner, and I am ready to talk about these products. So I couldn't really find too much information online about the Pretty Fresh being vegan or not. So if you can find any information online, please let me know down below in the comments if it is vegan, because I'm kind of getting mixed results. The website doesn't really say a whole lot. It does say that it is, but then in other sections it says it's not. So I don't really know. I'm kind of getting mixed answers, so I'm not too sure, but this one is definitely vegan. So for the moisturizer, it says that it is, this hydrating tinted moisturizer has a skin perfecting lightweight coverage for fresh, healthy looking skin. So it honestly does feel really, really hydrating when I put it on my skin. I really liked the color match. It was very, very close to my skin tone. It is maybe a little bit not, it is maybe not like the perfect 100% match, but it's very close. I think that for $14, it's a really nice foundation. I want to see how it wears throughout the rest of the day, but like I said already, if you're looking for a high coverage foundation, obviously a tinted moisturizer isn't going to be something that you're going to like, because it definitely didn't cover up any of the breakouts that I have on my forehead. It is just kind of a nice just tinted moisturizer if you wanted to do like almost like a no makeup, or if you wanted something to throw on if you like wearing makeup when you work out, or if you just like a lightweight kind of light coverage foundation, then you might really like this. I like it because I don't really like to go for the full coverage foundation, because I find that a lot of them are really cakey and really drying on my skin type. So I usually go for the tinted moisturizers, but I do wish it had a little bit more coverage just on the breakouts that I have on my forehead, because it didn't cover them at all. So that kind of sucked. As for the concealer, my first impressions of it so far is it did sink into all of my fine lines, and it did sink into my forehead lines, but I also used the other concealer on my forehead here and here, and that one I already knew sinks into my forehead line, so I can't really touch too much on my forehead. But as for my under eye lines, it did sink into all of those, so I will show you guys. So it does sink into all of your under eye lines, and that sucks, but that is how literally most concealers are on me. Even the hydrating ones. So I would say that I don't necessarily think I will be using this for my under eye lines. As for my under eye eyes, again in the future, I don't usually use concealers for underneath my eyes just because I find that it makes the under eye area look a lot worse than it does without using any product under it, and that's just me. A lot of people like the brightening effect that concealers use underneath their eyes, and I'm not one of them because I find that it makes me look way older than I am, and I don't like that. And this concealer worked the exact same way as all of the other ones. It settled into all of my under eye lines, and that just sucks. It just kind of exaggerates them, and I don't like that. But as for the concealer itself, it feels really creamy. It does feel really nice. When I put it onto my forehead though, it didn't really cover my breakout, which kind of sucked, so hopefully I don't get it into my wig. Let's see. Let's just move my wig back a little bit. Let's see if we can cover up this breakout a little bit more than it did, because it didn't really cover it in that. Yeah, as for the coverage on this concealer, I don't think it's as good as their original one, the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. I think I like the coverage more on this concealer than I do on this one. This one is really creamy and it does feel really nice and it does feel hydrating, but it's not as high coverage as the No Filter Concealer. So keep that in mind. If you like, again, high coverage foundation and concealer, these products may not be your cup of tea. But we are going to start the wear test now. It is 4:17, so we can start it up. I will come back in a couple hours and talk to you guys what I'm feeling, if it has worn off anywhere. I'm trying really hard not to touch my face lately because of, you know, all of the horrible things that are happening right now with COVID-19. So hopefully this foundation won't have rubbed off from me touching my face, because I'm trying not to. But I will come back in a few hours and we can talk about how this foundation is wearing. So I will see you guys then. Oh, one last thing that I'm going to do to hopefully help make this foundation last a little bit longer is I am going to spray my face with the No Setting the All-Nighter Setting Spray by Urban Decay, and just hopefully that will help keep this foundation on my face. And don't talk while you're spraying your face with setting spray because it tastes gross. Oh my god, okay, so I totally meant to come back a lot sooner than this. I was gonna come back at like 7 and I got carried away editing some videos and making dinner, and just, we were busy. So it is 10:58 right now. It is 11 p.m. My last check-in with you guys when I finished this makeup was at 4. It was like 4:20 something, so 4:20 blaze it. The motherfucking Eagle Double G. I get it. No, just kidding. So it was around 4:20 that I stopped filming the video and started this wear test. So going off of my first impressions, so I would say that this foundation definitely is starting to come off. It's coming off on my nose. It's coming off on my mouth area because I was eating. It definitely is obviously still not covering the breakout area. It's definitely settling into my under eye lines. The concealer is settling into my under eye lines really, really badly, and I don't like that. So if I turn down the lighting and zoom you guys in a little bit, it's definitely really unpleasant, and I don't like that for being 26 years old, that this foundation and concealer together on my under eyes makes me look like I'm in my 30s, and I don't like that. So I would say that this foundation and concealer for underneath your eyes is a definite no. I don't like that. It sank into my forehead lines, but again, I used the No Filter Concealer on this breakout right here and this breakout right here, so I can't really judge too much on my forehead. All I know is the foundation did sink into all of my pores, the concealer did sink into all of my under eye lines, and I would say as for the finish of this foundation, it is a lot more drying than I expected it to be, considering it is a foundation with hyaluronic acid in it, and it claims to be a very moisturizing tinted moisturizer. I would say that it is a little bit more dry looking than some of my other CC creams that I've used, like the $1 AOH Studio one. I think I like this one a little bit more, and I would say all in all, it's not the worst CC cream tinted moisturizer that I've ever tried. I guess, is it a CC cream? I keep calling it a CC cream because that's what I'm used to. It's not the worst tinted moisturizer that I've ever tried, but it's not the best either. I would say for $14, $15, it's not that bad. It is a really good color match, and my skin does look really nice. It's just the under eyes where I put the concealer on, and like my pores are a little bit enlarged with this moisturizer, and it just didn't really have the coverage that I kind of want from a foundation tinted moisturizer. It was just a little bit too light coverage. I want it to be a little bit more high coverage, but it doesn't claim to be a high coverage foundation, so that's nothing against the foundation. I just personally would like a little bit more of a higher coverage, but for the price, this is a really good I keep saying foundation, oh my god. So for the price, it is a really decent tinted moisturizer. I'm not a big fan of the concealer. I would say that the concealer definitely is a pass for me. I probably won't repurchase it just because I don't like how it looks underneath my eyes, but I really like the Colourpop No Filter Concealer for blemishes anyway, so I'm not really that upset about it. But as for the tinted moisturizer, I think it looks okay. I would say that the finish is pretty nice. For it being on for, how many hours is that? For 11 hours, it's not too bad. The only thing that I'm really noticing is my under eye lines, which is the concealer completely. So I would say that all in all, this is a pretty decent tinted moisturizer and concealer duo. If you like light coverage, you may really like this duo. If you don't have really intense under eye lines like I do apparently, you might like this concealer for a brightening effect, because it did have a really nice brightening effect, but it just really brought out my under eye lines, and I don't like that. So that's why I tend to not use concealer underneath my eyes. That's just a personal preference. You may really like this foundation and this concealer. You guys might just need to try it for yourself. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below for more content like this, and I will see you guys at the next video. Bye!